Forget a blue bracelet. If you don't watch this video all the way through, I'm gonna assume that you're racist. I'm about to do a social experiment.
I seriously thought this was a joke, folks. Like, really, I did it first. There's a new movement coming from the liberal left. Debt Strike 2025.
Are you guys on Debt Strike 2025 talk? I'm going to link her video, like the most recent one, I think, but I've been watching her do this for a couple days and I'm like, this is it. I was trying to get Tax Strike 2024 trending and it never really went. You know, there's probably plenty of people that are doing that because we don't have fucking money and all they do is steal our money, you know, but this debt strike, this is making sense. Because, like, taxes, people are scared because, like, you know, we say they can't come for us all, but, like, a lot of people have a lot riding on that, you know, and there is, like, repercussions for that. But, like, is there even any repercussions for debt?
These people are not only encouraging people not to pay their taxes, okay? I guess they don't understand how Medicaid works and disability and everything else. How potholes get fixed in the road, right? Like, do they not understand that's where USAID got all their money? Was your tax dollars? But I regress. Not only are they encouraging people not to pay their taxes, but not to pay their student loans, not to pay their credit card debt, not to pay any of that. In fact, they're willing to go so far as to say, if you don't meet our demands, we won't even pay our rent.
Okay, I know I'm insane and I know I'm the internet's favorite crash out. What I'm gonna say right now is I'm not paying my debt anymore. What we're doing from this point forward is a debt strike 2025. If I have to do it alone and be insane, I will. I literally will. The fact that we would continue paying our debt, we can't stop paying our rent because that's too crazy. It'll put a lot of people in harm. I'm sick of protesting. It does nothing. I don't want to go to war because look how skinny my arms are. We have to do something. I'm not paying my debt. You can join me on this or you cannot. And the demands are as such. Abolish ICE, okay? I want those men home from El Salvador. I don't care. And we need to protect Medicaid. The Department of Education needs to be restored. I want critical race theory in the classroom, period. We need to literally be delusional. I'm gonna be delusional right now. I will stand here right now, be delusional, make fun of me all you want. This is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. And if they don't meet our demands, then what we're gonna do is then we're gonna stop paying our rent. But for right now, stop paying your bills. Stop paying your debt. We're gonna start there.
Folks, I cannot make this up. This young lady, she got over 1 million views on this video on TikTok and over 100,000 likes. So this really goes with the video that I made earlier about the lady that made the comment she won't donate to my channel because I'm debt free. This is how Americans think. Give me, give me, give me, and I've got nothing to give in return. Folks, that is not how it works. And by the way, if you'd like to support our channel or even buy a worm form for our local school that I'll be visiting next week, the worm forms are $75, or you could just send $1 because you're a good-hearted person. And I work hard to raise your awareness of what is actually going on in your country. So how are we going to fix this issue?
Garnishing wages, snatching tax returns, freezing your social security checks, is giving financial handcuffs. And at first, it's like, well, okay, you signed a loan, maybe it's on you. But then I remember education was marketed like salvation. They said, go to school, take on debt, and a job will come. Now folks out here overworked, underpaid, and overdrafted, all for a diploma that didn't deliver.
All these young people are totally missing the point. You were scammed by the Department of Education, which is a federal organization. The president you currently have sitting in the White House is trying to fix that, so other people are not scammed. You were taught to hate the country that you now want them to pay for your debt. Here's the point I'm trying to make. You guys are not educated. Even with your college degrees or anything else, you have no clue how the world works. That's on you. You figured out how to make these videos. You figured out how to get people riled up so they'll watch your video so you get paid. But you can't figure out a way to apply that to remove your debt.
I've been a social worker that has made income-based repayments on my loan for years.
First of all, this is the type of energy I need everyone to fucking have. You should be angry. I love how angry you are. I'm sorry. Like, it's not fun to be angry, but this is the level of anger that people should be having. This is the proper response people should be having to student loans. I want to say anyone who's paying their taxes, who's paying their credit cards, who's paying their minimum student loan payments, who is doing debt consolidation plans, you're gonna kick yourself when you finally join the debt strike. There are a lot of people doing a debt strike already. It's just like people have to kind of keep it private because it's like we're walking off a cliff and we're like, come and join us off this cliff. Maybe not a cliff, but it's like we're going into the dark. And like the way things are with like reporting pregnant people, reporting ICE, it's like, well, people don't really want to broadcast about like doing a debt strike. That like not paying my credit cards, not paying my taxes, not paying my student loans, like, but like it's kind of like some people don't want to like broadcast it, but like you are going to feel silly that you kept paying your stuff way later than you should have. I haven't paid my student loans all of COVID, and I don't plan on paying them. I am holding the line.
And this is another thing that goes to show you how far we are from God's plan for man. God tells people to be debt-free, to live within your means, to owe no man anything. Yet, as soon as our children are legally old enough, we saddle them with debt for a promise of a job in the future. That makes absolutely no sense. None whatsoever. You can't make it make sense. But the Democrat Party doesn't seem to realize that giving all of these jobs that you could have to foreign-born employees, to illegal aliens that are keeping job raises down because, see, they've moved in a new slave. They don't need to worry about paying you a living wage when they can pay them nothing or barely anything. You don't see that. You don't see the waste, fraud, and abuse of your federal government wasting tax dollars. Of course they bailed out the bankers. That was Democrats. Of course they bailed out the housing industry. That was Democrats. Of course they put in food stamps. That was Democrats. Of course they did Social Security. Again, Democrats. Of course they did income tax. Again, Democrats. You don't realize that these social programs that you so badly want have to be paid by someone. And obviously you don't want it to be you. Look, I'm not making light of this. High schools really messed over the last 20 years of kids. If they even told them about trade schools were put down. They were paid by big colleges, just like Pig Pharma does with doctors, big universities, and the curriculum being given to public schools pushed college. That was pushed as the American dream. These kids literally were told that if they got a college degree, that it was going to somehow benefit society for all of them to be college educated. Does anybody think a bunch of college educated, indoctrinated, liberal left young adults has benefited America in any way? Seriously?
But us, we get ruined credit, wage garnishment, and also interest rates so high that we end up paying more than double what we borrowed. Well, why don't you work? Everyone works to pay off their student loans. Guess what, boomers? College now costs 6 fucking figures. And trade school, don't even give us that bullshit. That wasn't even given to us as an option, or it was presented as a not good option. This cruel system only pushed college as a way to the American dream. They didn't teach us financial literacy, and you know why. They just told us to sign our lives away. And now they're shocked that we're in debt. We can't afford a house. We can't afford children. And with the rising cost of living, we can't afford food.
But that's what they were told. And then because the government was willing to give them all that debt to pay for these colleges that were overpriced, because these college universities, Harvard's worth like $6 billion in assets, folks. I mean, you could send students to that university free for the next 100 years and they would be able to pay all of their professors and never lose money, because they have so much interest coming in off the millions in banks. Let that sink in. It is a scam. And I do hurt for these young adults, but it is their ignorance, even with their diploma, that is shocking to me. You're literally admitting that you were scammed, but you're angry with Republicans for wanting to overhaul the system that didn't teach you anything. They did not teach you financial. They did not teach you science. They did not teach you math. They did not teach you how to write a paper, fill out a resume, or to actually be held accountable for your own actions. They taught you all to be social justice warriors. And you guys all seem to think that you should all be working for nonprofits, getting free health care, free housing, and that is the American dream. They lied to our kids. We were silent when it happened. And now these kids are on the line, folks. I mean, they are going to be held responsible for $1.7 trillion in debt.
Say, can't pay, won't pay. My name is Maddie, and I'm an artist and organizer based in Oakland, California, and I'm also part of the Debt Collective, the nation's first union of debtors, and you should definitely join us. We've been around since Occupy Wall Street. I owe over $120,000 in student debt, and I always thought it was weird that I had to go into debt to pursue an education, to benefit society. But that's what this country is like now. People are having to go into debt for healthcare, for housing, for school meals. So even though we are well known for pushing the Biden administration to cancel $187 billion of student debt, there's still $1.7 trillion of student debt out there. And we don't just organize around student debt. We organize around back rent, medical debt, school meal debt. Anytime there's a debt that exists because the rich are making us pay for what should be public goods with interest.
Yeah, that's what they've been teaching your kids, that these are rights. It is your right to have free medical, to have free food, to have free housing, and you should be able to do whatever your little lovely heart wants to do. Folks, stop. Just stop. By the way, do you like to support our channel? Please do. Look in the top of comments, because you know what? This new movement, let me tell you what happens when you don't pay your debt. If it's medical debt that's owed to the state, they're going to put a lien against. You ready for this? Property if you own it. Inheritance if you get it. They're going to take money out of your savings account when it goes in. They've got it rigged. I mean, I get it. But also, at the same time, it is your responsibility to work. Deuteronomy 28 says that the Lord will bless the works of your hands. So let me explain it to you in simple man terms. If you don't work with your hands, you ain't getting no blessing. Make sense? The Bible's so super easy to understand. God expects you to work. He expects you to prosper. That is legitimately, he expects you to multiply. Okay? So it does not mean you need a new car or a 4-bedroom house you can't afford. It means you start where you're at, you be faithful with a little, and the Lord will provide you with much. Can I get an amen? Because you know what? These kids don't even know who Jesus is. Start praying, because if we don't start doing something right now, we're going to be socialists soon. All I got to say is, Lord, please keep the Democrats out of office for at least the next 100 years. In the name of Jesus,
What
amen.
the fuck do I have to... Oh, my credit score? For the house that I'll never buy? I already am not allowed to rent because I don't make enough money. I have to have a cosigner anyway, so what does my credit score even fucking matter? What does it matter, bro? Literally, what? I want Doge out of office. We're done with him. We're done with him. And free healthcare for all people. I'm so dead serious. Guys, we're done with this.